we've had some instances where like we've literally been like stalked. We had to file a restraining order. We like,
Goodness.
I mean, it's been really crazy.
I don't need nothing else. Every time I'm with you, yo, it's something else. It's a fact, and it's nothing else. Got your hand out, you don't even need help. Ooh, I don't need nothing else. Every time I'm with you, yo, it's something else. It's a fact, and it's nothing else. Got your hand out, you don't even need help. Ooh, that's right. I don't need nothing else. That's right.
Mainstream energy.
Because I think at the beginning was just like, well, I'm doing this, well, what you doing? Kind of like looking over your shoulder, kind of a competition sort of thing. And we just had to realize that, I won't say we, but I had to realize that like we were on the same team. Yeah. We wear the same jersey.
We work better together.
Yeah. So those particular things, and those are things that always, and I let people know up front, like, I really celebrate my marriage. I really like make that the forefront versus just trying to be like behind the scenes and not really letting people know what it is. Like,
not everybody's rooting for you.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, and even especially in sometimes an interracial marriage, not everybody is rooting for you. So, finding the grounding within your own relationship and remembering like why you're together and what benefits you bring to each other and to the world together, like that is what helps cement you, of course, in faith. You know.
Yeah, you have to remember why you love each other, and letting those principles be the foundational piece, because it's so easy to have so many different distractions. You know, you can watch stuff, you know, you can let so much stuff get into your spirit to where you kind of realize that like, oh, I like this, or, you know, I should be like with this or whatever. And then you allow your view to be kind of skewed to the point where you're looking at your mate like, like, I don't even like you. And it was never that, but because you're allowing so much stuff to get to you. So sometimes I'm like to the point to where like I don't even look at certain kind of channels. I don't allow myself to be exposed to certain kind of things, because when I wasn't strong enough, that stuff was influencing me into such a way that I'm looking at my wife as like, oh, you the enemy, or and which it should never be that way. So
because you guys are really immersed in, again, not only are you both high creatives, right, doing creative things, you're also in the entertainment field in Hollywood, definitely. In LA, on top of blended family, right. So there's the layers and degrees. So it's almost like what you're saying is what I'm gathering from what you're saying is like you almost have to be vigilant in your defenses.
You have to
guard your heart.
You have to protect it. Yeah, because if you don't protect it, like it's so easy to really find yourself slipping. And then if you're not aware, like I said, one thing for me was I had to realize that I needed accountability partners, and I didn't have it because I was like macho, trying to be the man. I don't need nobody. I don't really want to talk to nobody. And then you find yourself slipping. And it's like, I don't have any kind of accountability. Somebody can't be like, yo, bro, you slipping. Like, what you doing? And so that was one of the things that I had to realize, like, yo, I got to get back to those foundational pieces and understanding that I've got standards, I've got integrity. I need to have that person to check me whenever I'm like slipping out. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, how was it for you as like for you, Kat, in terms of Kerry travels? You know what I'm saying? That's a part of his vocation. I mean, obviously, the online school that you're doing is amazing, and you guys should all check that out. But there's a big chunk of time where you have to be on the road. I mean, and it's dope because you're playing with like some legendary, iconic musicians. But then the flip side is the marriage, the routine, those things. What's it like for you in that?
I mean, it's been so varying because in the beginning, in our first year of marriage,
not even our first year, the day after we got married.
Oh, the day after I wasn't even going to say that, but the day after we got married, he went to Malta, Switzerland, Hungary, Germany, Chicago, and then back home. And he was gone for a week because he had to do a few dates, you know?
Wow.
And literally it was like the morning after the wedding. So he
didn't crazy.
He didn't even really say goodbye to all the guests that had come into town. And I think I was pretty accepting of that because and I was like, well, it's only a week, and he'd been away before, and so he came back, and then we went on our honeymoon later, and it was fine. But then later in our first year of marriage, he went to Beijing for like 5-6 months. We didn't see each other once. That was really hard. And then during that time, there were some things that happened in our relationship that I think even pulled us apart more. It made it really challenging because we weren't with each other. We didn't have anybody to help us. Like, so that was definitely a challenge. And when he came back, we were trying to work through all of those things. And then, you know, just over time, we've encountered a lot of hiccups, you know, but I always believed like this person is great for me. and I'm great for this person. If we can heal from some of the past things that have happened to us that had nothing to do with each other, then we can make it through this stuff, you know, because it's just stuff. And it's all external stuff. And if we can get past that, and not everybody can, and a lot of people can't, then we could be great. We could help a lot of other people. But I don't know. So I don't even know why we stuck it out. What we did, I mean.
Well, I think for me, the biggest thing that I kept thinking about was, especially when it came to my parents, like the old school generation, if something was broke, what did they do? They fixed it. They didn't discard it. And kind of like the new school, like if something broke, whatever, the first thing we do is like, I got to get me something new. And I think that was my mentality because again, I've been married before, and so being in a marriage prior to, and then like you don't realize that you're taking a lot of baggage and scarring. Externally, you look like everything's fine, like he's in good shape, he looks good, whatever. But internally, I had a lot of scarring, and so a lot of times when you come into a relationship, you don't want to tell the person that like I'm dealing with these kind of issues, or you've already told yourself like I'm so good that like I don't have to worry about it, not realizing that those demons are still there.
Well, and when I was like going through my divorce, I was praying and I'm like, you know, God, the next person you send me, I just want you to send me someone that's been divorced.
Wow, you pray for that?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't know if that was the right thing to pray for, but
yeah, what? I
know. I love you. I'm so happy. But no, I mean, I'm just saying,
That's great.
I didn't realize all the challenges that would bring. I thought, you know, I'm praying for this because this person will understand what it feels like to be divorced, because not everybody has experienced that, and the shame and rejection and all of those things that you feel. So when he came along and I found out about his past, I was like, okay, great. So like he's got this. We're good now. Like we've been through divorces. So we know, like we've said to each other, divorce is not an option. We're going to work through our stuff. We already know what failure looks like. We're on the path. But it's not really that simple. And I didn't know that second and third marriages have a higher rate of divorce than the first one. And so I didn't expect all the trouble I didn't expect that. But I'm a little bit grateful for all the challenges because of where we're at now.
We really worked on, it's just like going out when you're working at the gym. You really don't see the results initially. And sometimes you don't understand why you got to do these crazy routines. But then like later on when it comes back, you're like, oh man, we look good. So understanding like I hated everything that we went through, but it was necessary to get to this point that where we even have a greater testimony and we can help other couples out and be like, listen, you're looking at us, we don't look like what we went through, but we went through some real serious stuff.
We're very brutally honest about the things that we've been through. Like we will be very specific. We sat down with a couple recently and we told them they know us from church and they had no idea what we'd been through. And we explained to them everything and they were looking at us like, wow. And we were able to give them some really great insight.
Because on Instagram or social media or just in life, you're not posting everything that you go through. Because again, it's advertisement. You got, like I said, we work in the industry, so we're not really trying to put all that out in the streets.
That doesn't mean you're faking it, though.
No, it's just,
which I think some people negate the happiness that you really are posting.
I mean, there was a moment. So, like, I even be honest, there was a moment where we had kind of like stopped posting each other, and I'm like, ain't nobody checking for me, ain't nobody looking, and then people would be like, yo, what's going on in your marriage, bro? Like, I ain't seen you posting your wife in a minute, and I'm like, man, we straight, we cool, because again, you don't want to let people into whatever you're dealing with, and not realizing that people can see what's going on. And so I was just like, I would share with her, like, man, when we were going through it, people were like really reaching out and be like, what's going on? Like, what's up? So it's just like, you have to really be mindful of when you're going through these things, like finding the right kind of people to talk to, even to like be like, yo, let me drop what's going on, because you can't expose yourself to everybody. Because again, when you do heal, or if you heal, or when you heal,
not everybody is on board.
Everybody, like I posted a picture, like when it was just me showing my wings. It's like, I think it was like the Angel Project. And so what I was saying was like, when you heal and you grow your wings, there are going to be some people that will never see it or refuse to see it because they want to kind of vilify you from the stuff that you used to do and not really give you the credit or see the changes that are in you. So it's really one of the things we learned, like when we were going through a situation, we can't expose whatever we're going through with everybody. You know, even though it may feel like, oh, I just need to talk to everybody, I need to get it out. And you just have to find that one particular person that really is solid, that when you share the information, they can keep you close to the chest, pray with you, get you through it.
You also, on the other hand, cannot isolate yourself and not talk to anybody about it.
That's true.
That's just equally as unhealthy.
Right.
Yeah. Which we were both doing. One of those, one or the other of those things.
Well, that's the natural tendency, right? You get guarded, you want to protect yourself. You know what I mean? And like you said, people know. You know what I'm saying? People know. I don't know if me and you ever had a conversation, but I remember like looking and I'm like, I need to be praying for these guys.
I think we chatted.
We did talk about it.
And I was like, yo, I'm really going through some stuff. I ain't really ready to talk about it just yet. But I'm like, we going through, we trying to figure some stuff out. Yeah.
It was very real. Like earlier this year, we almost got a divorce.
Yeah.
And we're so far from that now. Well, not this year because we're in 2020 now. So we're
the beginning of 2019.
Yeah, it was bad, but we're in a completely different space now. So.
That's why I said you got to be careful what you allow to get into your spirit. I was exposing myself to some things that were having me looking at my wife sideways, and she never did anything. But it's just about you allow other people with different influences to kind of get into your head, and the next thing you know, you start believing stuff about somebody that you already know is not even that particular way. You start looking at them like, and then everybody becomes a suspect.
The enemy will use other people, you know, and really try to like dig that wedge in between you as a couple, and they don't know everything that's happening in your relationship, and you have to really guard that because then they believe that their truth is the truth. And we've had some instances where like we've literally been like stalked. We had to file a restraining order. I mean, it's been really crazy. And it just shows you like how you really have to protect your home and your people because
and you got to have honestly, you've got to create a tribe. You got to have a good set of people around you. So that way they can be like, yo, what are y'all going through? They can pray for you. They can be there for you. And that's not necessarily easy all the time. But when you find that core group, you want to keep those people. Those are lifetime friendships, not like for a season. So it's really important to find, like I said, for us, making sure we find couple friends, people that are already married, people that have a relationship. Because again,
shout out to Crystal and Rec because they've been like the realest, like good friends that never judged us or what we went through and still continue to love us. And when we decided to work things out, they were like right there with us.
They celebrated just like we celebrated. So it's good to have like a good foundational crew of people that can like be there for you, be there with you.
Thank the holy trio. I feel like CEO. I'm about to live my dream. I don't glow, I beam. My price just went way up, but I'm free. My price just went way up, but I'm free. My girl hot like Cheetos, jeans straight from Puerto Rico. Ay, my homeboy just be the chemo, and Jesus still be the hero. Scheme, but I keep it on the D-low. My city feel like Primos. Every day feel like opening day, and I used to feel like B-roll.